Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Manifestation Theory, a brand new podcast show. And we have created this beautiful space for us to share about successful manifestation stories across this nation and to share with you all these beautiful people in this journey and all their success stories, ups and downs, and everything about it. And today it's going to be our first episode, and we have two wonderful guests with us. So let me introduce Mr. Subaru Perumal. He is 22 years old, young entrepreneur who have got to be listed in 6th edition of Malaysia's most successful people by Britishpedia. There is one important fact I want to share with you. He chose himself to be a college dropout, guys. And I really wonder, how did you manage to came this level into your life? Subaru Perumal is also a CEO and a co-founder of Sightvibes, which is a digital solution company which creates a solution branding for multiple organizations to have the visibility across the world, right? So let's dive deep in and welcome Mr. Subaru.
Hello.
Nice.
Thanks for the invite. Let me correct you one thing. I'm actually 23 this year.
Sorry?
I'm turning 23 this year.
Turning 23.
Yeah, I'm turning 23
Okay,
this year.
thank you.
So the way I actually started this thing off was not in my plan. That's the first thing. So when I dropped out of college, I completely don't have a single plan of what's next. What I was doing at that time was all I wanted to get out of the space, because it was like too much of studying, too much of just you're just taking a bunch of books and bunch of slides and just start stuffing into your brain, right? Stuffing into your brain, and then you want to just vomit out, and then the next day after the exam, you'll be like, okay, I don't know anything. So when that same thing was going on after SPM, so after SPM was like a gap there, right? So in that gap, I was just traveling and finding new skills and stuff like that. And then I entered my uni. Once I entered my uni, what happened was I hesitated a lot. So I entered Sunway Uni. And then I joined a course called, what was it? Hotel Management. Yeah. So once I entered hotel management, and then there was resistance happened, they said I have to shave. I said I have to shave. Then I said, no, I'm not going to shave. And then I shift my course to event management. And it was interesting at first. Event management was quite interesting. But I don't like how the way it actually works there. It's like everything is just study, and then do exams, study, do exam, study, do exam. So, and then my family was having financial trouble at the same time. So I decided to okay, let's reduce the financial burdens to my parents and stuff. And I didn't hesitate to drop out without any plan. Then I dropped out. Yeah, I think it was around 2020, I guess. I'm not so sure. So, and then I dropped out, and without absolute zero plans. So once I dropped out, what I was doing was nothing. It was just completely empty. And after 1 month or 2 months into the nothingness, and I picked up graphic design.
Okay.
So I was interested in graphic design. So I picked up myself, and then I started watching YouTube. And I've never joined any courses about it. It was purely just YouTube. So I was just learning off YouTube and then using my creativity myself.
Okay.
And then I was doing multiple, using cracked version of Photoshop, because I couldn't afford Photoshop right at that time. So I was using cracked version of Photoshop and then start doing that. And then I hit certain level. I ran out of ideas also. It's a creative block. It's a common thing for designers, right? So once I hit creative block, I came out with a post. It was just too simple. I was nothing to do. I was okay, let's just push myself to do something. Right?
There, I pause you. Now, for that, I would like to introduce you the other guest, which created them a beautiful connection, and also the whole manifestation journey has came up, right? So let's welcome Mr. Dilip Kumar, who is the manifestation coach as well as his well-wisher and the one who coached throughout this beautiful journey. So I'm pretty sure there was a notch where you wanted to tell us how it all started, right? Let us hear it from you as well. That time, how did you got to know him first?
I would say it's my manifestation journey as well. It's kind of like that's the time I was like going through a lot of challenges in my life, and then I'm healing myself, and then I'm getting I already got healed myself, and then that's when I started understanding what kind of experiences I wanted to live, how would I like to grow, how would I like to contribute back. So when it comes to the contribution fact, that's when I was looking for someone I could help that person to grow, right? So while I was having that intention, that's when I saw his post. It was so unique actually. So because it's kind of like there is a eye which has a tears which is coming out, and it shows a lot of meaning towards it. It's not the design it connected, it's the feeling with that design actually. So that feeling gave me a kind of like sometimes we always come from a thinking mind, but it's always also understand our feeling mind as well. So because the empathy which I had, and also the feelings which I connected to, which brought me into a place of like looking for someone, right, who can connect with that as well. So that is just a hunch. I realized that, oh, this boy has some talent within him, and which I saw, I mean, like kind of like I saw my past version as well. And then I reached out to him, hey, how are you doing? And then that's how we started our journey in Instagram. So the algorithm of Instagram worked.
Yeah. So at that point, I was like quite. I was looking for some mentor, and I was like, I don't know how to get it. In my head, it was just like, I just need a mentor. I said it in my head, and I was like, every day I was just thinking like, okay, I need a mentor for this, for that, for this, for that. And at the same time, he came in. Right, I was like, I didn't hesitate at all. I was like, okay, there's an opportunity coming, knocking at the door. Make sure you open it. So I opened very wide the door, and I let him in. I just come, please come, please. And I just let him in, and then everything started from that one post.
Amazing. So, what was the vision you both has in common that time?
At that time, when I met him, all I was thinking was creating a business and also develop myself, right? So because my family background was everything was business. My father used to be a businessman, and so from there onwards, we're like, okay, I was surrounded by business things from there. So I want to start for myself because I didn't get an opportunity to jump in and help him, right? So I wanted to have a mentor by my side who knows business. At the same time, I know graphic design, so I want to leverage that part of me to build something out of it. So that was my vision, that I want to do something.
That's what made me so curious, right? Now you're turning 23, and that was like way back, you said, right?
Yeah, way back.
And how did you even know that this is what I'm going to do? This is my vision. I would probably say that our time, to being in 23, 22, even way before that, it's like that's the time we figure out what is life about. We will be like, either we focus and study or we just be playful, right? What makes you to be like so ambitious? What makes you to be so clear about your path and you pursue that?
Okay, when I mentioned earlier, right, where I went into a very blank space, right? In that blank space, there was completely nothing. So I was trying to figure out that I have to do something, right? Because when I see my circle, everyone is doing something. Some of them started work. Some of them are really good in studies, and I'm in between doing not working and also not studies. So I was feeling like anxious and also like, I'm feeling left out. I was thinking that I'm way, way, way back. And so the way the drive actually came in was through nothingness. Like, you don't overthink too much what you want to do. You just set something, right? Like I say, I want to get this. I know I 100% know that I want to do business, right? So when you set that, you just need to know how the thing is going to work, but you don't think too much on the how. You just set first. The how will eventually come to you. You just need to follow what you need to do. Don't overthink too much. Just go through it. Definitely there will be obstacles. So when you break one by one obstacle, right, that's where you reach your destination. So I smoothly break it through with the help of Dilip, and also some of my supportive friends were there. When I dropped out, they were like, okay, it's okay, no worries. And they were there for me. So I have no hesitation. Number one, you set your thing. Number two, don't overthink it. Number three, just execute it.
Wow.
These are the three things that I actually did it on that time.
Wow. That's very beautifully said.
Yeah, it's kind of like the important part of manifestation is like first thing we needed to recognize, right? And then we need to admit, and then we need to declare. And the last piece, the piece which he has said about the giving a space, that's surrendering, right? So it's kind of like he already set his intention, he already know what he wants. It was easier for me to guide him because this is the path he wanted to go, and the path is not clear, but he knows what he wants, right? But then there's like a very big gap there, because it's kind of like if you needed to get into a job, you needed to have that kind of degree or SPM or any basic qualification people will always be asking. But then I did told him differently to follow, improve your skills, go all the way in your skills, and that is what he had did it actually. So whenever I tell him something, it's not the longer conversation or longer things. He will just ask me, hey, this is where I'm stuck. What do I do? I said, like, instead of doing, so what we will just clear off what is the subconscious block is there to understand. Hey, you know what, you are thinking in this perspective. Can you see it in this perspective? Right. So that perspective shift has, he's very quick. It's not only I am giving the perspective shift, it's about the execution of the perspective and the seeing it that differently.
Right.
He will do it very quickly.
Right. That's amazing. About that, right, I want to dive in a little deeper to ask about where there is very common perception around, which is like manifestation is more like we can manifest our soulmate, we can manifest more money. But then in terms of entrepreneurship, right, and also growing and keep growing like an exponential growth. So how do you say about that? So what is that so special in that kind of manifestation, or what is that differ from other types of manifestation, or is it same? So how that process goes?
Manifestation process is the same. You always need to recognize what you want, and then you need to admit, and then you need to declare, and you need to surrender to the process, right? But what we don't know is like, what is the impact we wanted to make in the entrepreneurship? That's a very big shift we needed to have. It's not about what do you want for yourself, it is what do you want to impact in the world, and also not only going after the world, also you needed to understand what is the personal impact you are going to make, which is going to be aligning with your world impact. So those two needs to be aligned and clubbed together. So I think that's what we always dive deeper and question each other, right?
That thing, we always do that, right? Like when either one of us like skew to the side, right? There's always one person is grounded. So when someone skew to the other direction or something, we tend to ask questions instead of giving solutions. Like we ask questions, let them think, let them think, and let them do the thinking process, and then they can come back to us, and then they will be, oh, okay, so I have to go this way and do this way. They automatically come and tell you. They were asking for solution, but you ask the question, right? Like you always like to do that. When I'm stuck or something, right? You don't give solutions. Solution was not the first thing he would do.
Solution would not be the first thing.
That's not
I know
the
that.
the first thing is not solution.
Yes.
The first thing he shoot is question.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So when you shoot the question, you'll be like, then you start thinking, right? When you start thinking, you can see the path more clearly. When you see the path more clearly, instead of skewing, you come back to the path. So asking question and then coming back to your vision, that's what he always do.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I've seen so far from him.
Exactly.
Because most of the people out there, when they say they have problem and stuff, right? It's not giving solution. But when you're giving solution, right, they'll be not taking it because they're looking for, like, I don't know what they're actually looking for. They are like, when they get a solution, it's not something for them. They want something is for them. But in order to know what is something for them, you have to ask questions. So questions play an important role from not skewing, coming back to the path.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. In
So
fact,
the questions will be aligned with what we usually ask ourselves is like, what is the purpose you have, and what is the freedom you're going to get out of it, and what is the okay. So it's kind of like this, right? What is the purpose you have, and what is the mastery you have, which is the skill sets, and how are you going to have the freedom as well? So when you align all these three things together, that's going to drive you. Money is just a baseline reward, but then the reward is that like your purpose, your mastery, and your autonomy. So when you have that drive in entrepreneurship, and that is where you need to come from your manifestation journey, from that level of entrepreneurship, right? So but your purpose may not be clear, right? So his purpose wasn't clear in the beginning, right? So he knows he wants to be an entrepreneur, but he doesn't know what the impact he wanted to make in the world. But he knows he want to be entrepreneur, right? Who he want to be, he's already know. But what and why, it's the important part which we dive deeper.
right, right. So there's this thing, right, where people tend to say that in manifestation, it's about meditating or about only visualization and all, right? You are a person now who are having clients across the country, from US, from India, Malaysia, and where else you have
Europe.
Europe, right? So, but then you also choose to be a dropout from your college, right?
Yeah.
From here to here, it's like one huge jump. So, have you ever had a thought of, like, have you ever envisioned yourself to be like this now, whatever you are now?
Yes. So in the early days, I have this persona in my head. The future me is like that. So it's like dressed up like this, and then he's meeting clients, he's talking to multiple people, and then connecting here, there, and then he's meeting people, meeting so many things he's doing. So when I envision that, I won't just stop envisioning that. I start to put myself there. So when I place myself there, like I'm living in the future, right? Like the future me is, I'm feeling it. So when I feel like how the victory tastes, right? Like now, in the now, I'm feeling it. So when you feel it, you don't need motivation from outside. You take a bet on yourself and do what you gotta do. So you have to take the leap of faith. So many people out there are not willing to take the leap of faith because they overthink it. They don't know they fail, or they don't know they success. It's a 50-50 percentage, right? But if you're not taking the leap of faith, right, it's 100% guarantee you're not going to make it. But when you taking the leap of faith, there's at least 50% of lose or 50% of gain. But even though, let's say you didn't make it, right, you get to learn the lesson. By leveraging on the lesson, you can push yourself to gain something out of it. But people don't tend to see that. They are too scared, too risky, saying, oh, I'm not going to do it. But all you have to do is just take a leap of faith, bet on yourself, and just do it. What you got to do.
So it also taught me that he also brought me a lesson to me, right? Which is like, I always try to bring the underlings to a skill, and I make sure that underlings are up to my level. But then he's the first person who came to me to challenge my thinking, challenge the way I work, right? So when we say about manifestation, we always say that, oh, okay, let's put you into a meditative state. Let's get you into that kind of like subconscious, go into your subconscious, and then let's find out what is the problems that exist there. So all these things we will do. But he challenged my thinking, right? So it's not about the processes and tools you use, but it is what are the intention that person has, and that person is ready to be challenged, right? So that is what made me to be so curious. I mean, like, it's the same curious energy he has as well. So which we did envision and we did enhance it. It's the challenge, right? So we do challenge each other, like in our businesses. If I am stuck somewhere, I'm so proud to feel that he's in a state now to question me back. You know what? Where are you lacking? I mean, like, what is that part of you is stopping you? So that subconscious behavior we would not notify unless if you build that kind of energy around you. It is going to enhance your thinking, and it is going to make you think 10 times better than who you were before.
Wow, beautifully said. Like, the best part of seeing your fruitful impact when the impact is impacting you.
Yeah, it's
Right?
actually a very nice thing to see.
Yeah. It sounds very happy and it's amazing, right? So a bit more deeper, like whatever you said, although you saw challenges, you take lessons and you go up from there, right? To understand again your perspective in your age group, in young people these days, right? What do you think is the restriction they have from growing?
Uh, First thing I would say is they don't really bet on themselves.
Ah.
Yeah, so they don't trust themselves.
Mhm.
When they don't trust themselves, right? When around them, like parents, friends, saying that, let's say they come up with an idea, right? Come up with an idea, and obviously they're gonna tend to like tell their parents, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they're gonna tell their friends, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. There are certain parents that are supportive. There are certain parents that are not supportive.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the non-supportive parents, right, what they do is they destroy their dream. And when parents, the first strike is from their parents. The second one would be their friends. When parents strike them, right, like they destroy it, then with that pieces, they at least go to their friends, and then they would seek like validation. When they seek validation from outside instead of themselves. So when they seek validation from their friends, and some friend groups they support, some don't. So when they face a some don't want, what happened was like they're just completely gone. They also start trashing. Then their dream is just like a dream for them. They are not making their dream happen. So that number one is the parents' denial factor. Like they are very traditional. They are like, okay, you have to study, work, marry, buy car, buy a house, die.
The societal ticks.
Yep. So there's like a checklist for them to like follow all the way to their grave.
Yeah.
So first thing is that. Now number two, I would say friends. When you are the odd one in your friend group, right? You don't feel the topic they are talking, it's impacting to you. Like it's like, what are you talking? Like, I don't want to talk about this. You can see the difference clearly. Like you can distinguish the difference between you and the circle you have. I mean, you should have that type of friends as well, because you have to have fun and stuff, right? But you have to surround yourself by people who like to challenge you. Yeah. So when you surround yourself with the circle who challenges you, you start to improve. So like what we did, like the first thing he did was challenging me, because I wasn't there to challenge him yet. Because I was understanding, okay, so this is how challenges work. So this is how you day by day improve. And when you get to the level, then both of us started challenging. So when both sides start challenging, right, the growth will be, I would say, 10 times more faster than previously.
Wow.
Because at first it's just only one-sided, right? One-sided was challenging. When both sided start challenging, right, they both are going to be like building stacks way more faster.
Right.
So that's the thing. And when I come back to the question was like, what are the factors, right? First is parents. Number two is friends. Number three is actually themselves. They don't rely on themselves. When they have great skill, they might have great skill, but because of these two pressure, right, they tend to suppress themselves and let the dreams be dreams. So that's what's happening right now from what I see. Yeah. So this is the issue that I'm seeing right now in teenagers right now. And even my age group, there are people like that. They're studying, they're working. And then I did, there's few friends of mine actually questioned me when I was, before just starting, right? And a few of my friends really questioned me, like, why don't you study and also do this thing so you have backup? So this backup thing is like, it's like you're having a backup because you don't trust your first option.
Oh my God. That's a hit on the face.
You're having a backup because you don't trust your first option.
Right.
So it's like you're having like, okay, I need to have a backup. So my first fail, I go to second. Then the second fail, I have another backup. So the backup after backup after backup. You're not trusting your own thing, It's like you have so much potential. Why don't you see it? So the first thing that they have to do is they have to bet on themselves. If you are not betting on yourself, who's going to bet on you? So obviously you have to prove yourself first. Your competition is you, not others. When you start comparing yourself to others, right, you're gone. Because they might have unfair advantage. I might have my own unfair advantage, but I'm not seeing my unfair advantage and looking at them. So you have to use your unfair advantage to your advantage and start from there. Start from yourself. even though let's say your parents against or your friends against, right? You have yourself. So you have to break everything using you, not others. Others' validation are nothing, actually.
This is such an amazing and inspiring words. Really, I tell you, I'm so it feels so goosebump, to hear this. It's you. You
Yeah.
have you still. Right? That's a
Yeah.
very big reminder.
So just pat yourself and say you'll be good. You can do it. Just do it. Even if you fail, everybody is just gonna like they'll start commenting on you like, okay, you do fail already, gone lah. But then when they say that, you have to try to take a step back and see the bigger vision why you failed and stuff like that, right? You amend it instead of giving it up. Like, okay, you failed, I'm a loser now. Instead of saying that, you use that to your leverage. Oh, I lost. Okay, why I lost? You start retrospective yourself, right?
Right.
Like you see what the things you've done and what works, what doesn't work. When you know that, you start going all out on the things that it works and start fixing the things that doesn't work. But then most of the effort is going to be on the things that works. So when you work on that, you're going to grow. No matter what, you're going to grow. Whoever say anything, you can break everything.
That's great. Speaking about the backup plans, right? Whatever backup that he said, it's a very, very meaningful thing where you have multiple backups and you see it as a thing that if you're going to fail, you're going to go back there. So in manifestation journey, that in the process of having different types of energy, how confident are you towards your vision and how are you coming from survival energy, right? Tell us about that in your perspective. How do you see about this having multiple backup? Because people tend to feel like we have to have backup or else what will happen if we fail, right? Tell us about it.
So whatever the backup plan, whatever he has talked about, it's nothing but you might have a contradictory vision. Because he wants to be an entrepreneur, right? But then if you put him into a technician mindset, what happens to him is he's always going to put himself, how am I going to make a monthly commitment and meet my monthly commitment, right? So that is not going to give you exponential thinking or compound effect in your life, right? So you're going to come from a place of a technician perspective and you start from there. So we were always thinking that, I will start from a technician perspective and then I'll go to a manager and then I'll go to a leadership, right? So to be honest, to me, yes, you needed to have your skills as a technicians, but then you always have that higher vision is you are a leader, right? So when you are coming from a leadership perspective, you needed to let go of the personality of the technician, right? Because we always come from a place of like, we always example like you wanted to go to gym and work out, but then there'll be like a two personalities will be inside you, which will be like having a backup plan, right? Which will tell you that, you know what, tomorrow I'll go.
Yes.
So that backup plan is not going to help make you fit, isn't it?
Perfectly said.
Yeah, eventually the tomorrow will never come.
I know, right?
Eventually the tomorrow will never come.
Yes.
So that is about the manifestation, right? Because if you are having a backup plan, it is nothing but you are seeing your future with your past experience. Either your past experience or you are seeing it from your parents' past experience, right? So which means imagine your education system is not updated and it is 1980s. But the world is in 2024. I mean, I was about to say 2023. I'm living in 2023.
Thank you for the
So
correcting.
it's on 2024, right? So the 2024, the level of the potential you have in your phones, imagine how much the phones has been evolved, the smartphones, the OS, the system, and also the hardware and the software is evolving. We as a human being, our hardwares can't evolve, but our hardwares can be rewired with the OS which we have, which is our subconscious mind and thinking, right? Your subconscious mind is connecting as a hormones in your body, right? So if we able to reshift and if you able to think from that perspective without the backup plan, you see the future, which means you're always envisioning your future version and you're going to eventually manifest that, right? That doesn't mean that you should let go of your past experiences. Sometimes people tend to think that I want to erase my past memories, but your past memories carries who you are actually. So that who you are coming from, who are the vision you have, it's coming from that past as well. So you cannot erase it, but you needed to embrace it to the present moment. And from that moment, you needed to move to your future. Yeah.
Beautifully said. Like, we are not going to forget everything, control, delete. We are not going to stay in there as well. It's more like we accepting ourselves from the past, understanding ourselves, and also future vision, and embodying that person into yourself now, that now moment. Beautifully said. So, the part that you mentioned about parents, right? I want to dive in a little more deeper in it. So, I'm aware that in this process, you did lost your dad, and also you still came up without how do I say, without skewed, right, like you said. So how was that process for you, and what is the gratitude you have to share?
Okay, so around 2021, right, I lost my dad, and that's the time where I was about to take off from the things that I'm doing. I was like about to like, okay, I'm going full force, and at that period of time, this happened. So when this happened, I when that's my first time in my entire life I was facing a death, right? And it's my father figure, and he was very close to me. So when that thing happened, what I did was I didn't back down. What I saw was okay. So I now I'm making a different. I'm going to another level right now. At the same time, I was already pushing throttling full throttle on myself. I'm betting on myself. I'm doing graphic designing, and Dilip was there, and I was betting on myself that I can do it. So these two things was happening. So when my mom was there, my mom was very supportive. I'm blessed with my mom because my mom is a very beautiful soul who supports me along from the beginning. From dropout, she said, "Okay, go ahead. I trust you. Do it." And my dad was there also. He was also like, "Okay, just do it. Do what your heart says." And when I lost that type of person, right, it was if it was nerve wracking at the moment, but when I realized that okay, this thing happened, I shouldn't stop anywhere. Like I shouldn't take a pause. When if let's say if I took a pause, right, I might go spiral down, or I might not do anything. I'm going back. I'm going backwards. I don't want to step back because I've done this far. What I did was I just take a small step back, and what the small step back is actually meant is actually eager view. Like I'm fly up a bit and see the entire bigger picture. So this thing happened here, and it was small. So when you go eager view, right, everything looks small, and there's a lot of things that you have to do. So this thing happened, and I have to manage it, and I have to be there for my family, my brother, my mother, for everyone. I have to be there. At the same time, I was having a very great support system as well. So when I was having a good support system around me, I didn't lose hope. The hope was still there, and I was not afraid of letting go of my dad. So when grief happened, right, but people spiral down into the grief. Right?
Yep.
Obviously, you have to feel grief also because it's a part of human emotion. So when you feel grief, take your time. You have to feel through it. Don't be resistant. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel it. Don't dwell on it as well. So you have to find the perfect balance, right? Everything is balanced, like yin and yang. Everything is balanced. There's good in bad. There's bad in good. So you have to balance everything. When things attack you, things happen. Just take a step back, take a moment, and analyze everything. When you're ready, go. So that's what I exactly did. So when this happened, right, it was shaky because financial wise, it was a very big hit. Number one, it was a very, very big hit. And thank God, my mom is a very aware person, right? So she saved money from a long, long time ago. So that was helpful. And number two, emotional wise, was a very big hit as well. And number three, father figure is gone. So it's a very big hit as well. So you have to manage and maintain it and balance it. So when you are grieving, you have to grieve, but don't dwell on it or don't resist yourself. Take your time, like a day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like let it feel it. Once you feel it, when you're ready, get back on track. So this what happened where on that time, right? It's like third day or fourth day of the passing. What I did, that was that 3 to 4 days was my period of taking back. And I think on the fifth day, one of my clients actually came back to me and said, is it possible to be done this? And I was like, oh, okay. There was no hesitant happen there. Some people like forced to like, I have to do this. Then they go in and do that. And when I noticed that when my client come back to me and asking that, can you do this for me? I was not hesitant. I wasn't resisting. Like, I didn't force myself. I just showed up. I showed up naturally. So that's where I know I found my balance and it's my time to ready to go. So I didn't doubt myself. It's like your body is already telling you you're fine. You can go. You have done what you have to do. Now you step. Then I stepped in and things happen. And obviously, I show gratitude for my dad because since young, he's the one I look after. Like I look up to him because he was a businessman in my family. So that's why I said like very early, like very early in the podcast, I was saying I was grown up in a family that is a business minded. So that he's the one. He's the one who actually sparked the thing in me. When during young also I was doing businesses, like funny businesses, like car wash businesses for Hot Wheels, something like that. Yeah. And secondly, I was selling food in my secondary school. So all these things wasn't stuffed in me. It was my interest. So I leveraged on my interest and I grew. So everything started from my dad. He was a seed and he watered it and I took care of it and it's growing. Now it's a tree.
Wow.
Yep. And my mom is the root.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lovely to hear that. In this process, right, while you was coaching him, looking at his challenges that he was facing and then how he was like coming in that, right? So how did you felt during that coaching journey? How do you see his emotions as well as vision? How is he balancing it? How do you see that?
Obviously, I got I got devastated to hear that news actually. And the part of it is that I don't know his full story yet because we didn't do like a coaching session, right? Because we started our journey together as like, hey, let's just partner and then let's just go and do something. And then during the process, I was coaching him. So the moment we know that his dad has passed away, that's when it did push me as well. How can I help him more? But then what I realized is like, this is the moment he is in his true energy of his father's energy, which is going to be like, whatever the grief he is feeling, it is going to give him the guidance. Actually, the divine guidance is going to come as a divine energy through him, right? Because his father has an intention for him. So I also understood that whatever that his father's intention is there, so let me be the channel actually, right, to be help him to grow in his journey rather than like dwelling on it, or rather than not like say like it's not a lost actually. So whenever you lose someone who you love the most, that is when you really understand their love is within you, isn't it? I mean, like, they're not going anywhere, their love is within you. But that is not, that love shouldn't be turning into a grief. So because if you keep on saying that I'm going to be feel empty, I'm going to be feeling sad because I lost this person, that is going to be not a love, it is going to be a grief. So we need to really understand it actually. So when you are losing someone, the love in separation is more powerful than love in grief. Because if you are grieving, that means you are always wanting that person to be stagnant with you, but you're not letting that soul to evolve into the next journey. I mean, like, if we believe in the journey of next birth, right? So let them evolve actually. So accept them and see them as a universal energy, and their energy is going to come towards you, right? So that's the energy I felt. And as well as the part of it, at that time I was losing my son as well, right? So that's how the law of circulation work in manifestation, right? It's kind of like you are kind of like having some separation, but then the love is always around us. It's just that how we see it. Do we see it like, this is my son, this is my father, this is my, it's not that actually. Whatever that their intention, it's always being around you. So be true with your intention of love.
Wow. Dilip, beautifully said. Really. I'm so I'm so happy to hear this, actually. Very beautifully said. So, in this part, when you both talking about the energy and the intention, right? So, entrepreneurship business revolves around multiple people. You got to see so many clients across the culture, countries, and everything, right? So, how do you see the community building, the multiple energy tapping into your life and building the vision together? So, how is that actually? Do you face challenges having different types of people, or did you see all growth? How was that process?
Obviously, initially when me and him met, I somehow didn't feel any resistance. Right? So I was like, oh, we kind of similar. So it's like happy go lucky. Okay, we can do this. Anything. We can throw anything to us. We can literally get it done. Yeah, because I bet on myself, right? So literally we can get anything done. So when we are growing into a stage where we have to have community, like a bunch of people together and working on things, right? Because it was just me and him previously. So when we are going to the next level, we need hands. We need expertise in other areas. And we do met the other expertise in other areas. But there's obviously going to be challenges because their intention might be different and our intention might be different. Their style of working might be different. Our style of working might be different. So this is where a crucial game we have to play. We have to know how to connect it, but you don't force the connection. You have to connect it, but do not force the connection. When this is a very good sign, you know that things will not work out. Intention.
Yes.
The intention is very powerful when your intention doesn't like link up with you and that person, right? It's not gonna go well. You cannot hope that that person might change their intention and come to you, or you might change your intention to go after them. It shouldn't be like that. You have your intention. You already set. Before meeting them, you already know your intention. You have an intention that you're going here, you're going there. You do not divert, like skew here, there. It's like, it's no point, right? So when you know the intention is not right, leave it as it is. Like, it's an art to let go, right? It's a very good art, like, art of letting go. Yeah, if you master that, right? You know how to let things go as it is. You see it as it is. You don't hate them. You don't trash talk them, or you're like, oh, they do like that. Oh, you don't wish bad for them. You don't wish bad luck for them, or anything. You see them as it is and wish them luck, and you go. Like, because we give love, right? It's not coming from outside and then we giving. It's from us. It's who we are. So when intention doesn't lie, it's okay. It is a challenge. It's a very challenging situation when it's quite frustrating to know that your intention doesn't align with someone. But you have to know it is okay because we are human. People do have multiple intention. Not everyone has the same intention. And not everyone you meet has the same intention. They can be good friends, but they cannot be a good companion. They can be a very good best friend, but they cannot go off like for long term. So it happens. You have to accept it. See it as it is. Don't try to change. Don't try to do anything. Educate them. Let them grow. If you can be the person, start them off to grow, be happy. That's all. Obviously, you're going to face challenge. And this is how we mitigate the challenge where the intention doesn't lie. It's okay. Let them go. Let's go for a new one. Next. Just go after. Don't stop and dwell that, oh, this doesn't work. Oh my God. Don't stop that. Just go after the next one. Next. Obviously, you go in those ways. In those ways, you're going to face challenge. It's okay. Challenge is part of life. You have to face it.
Amazing. It's like the way he shared it itself, right? Shows that you are really wise. So much of wisdom. And it shows how his emotional state is being, right? When the intentions are not aligned, there is no anger, hatred, judgment, envy, or whatever emotions that may not aligning with manifestation journey. So it is like very clear that you are letting it go, setting it a good intention of love, and then you are coming back to yourself and you're just growing yourself. That's so amazing, right? So do you think the intention of a group or a community matters a lot in the manifestation journey? And if it is, then what kind of level is that?
Of course, it is so important to have, as he mentioned, the art of letting go, the art of collaboration. So
There
the
you
art of collaboration is the heart of any growth.
Mm.
If you don't have the heart of collaboration, you don't have a heart of growth, which means you're going to contract your heart and your energy is going to be within you only. So this is where most of the entrepreneurs struggle, because they wanted to achieve something, they wanted to become something, they wanted to grow something, they wanted to grow money, but then your energy is only within your heart and it's not connecting with that other heart too. You don't need to control someone, you don't need to manage someone, you needed to understand where they are coming from. So when you are standing there, they're going to travel along with you. Nobody wants to travel alone, right? So we always wanted to go together with people. So that art of collaboration is what we have cultivated in our organization. So even the art of letting go also happening now, right? It's kind of like Dilip Inspires is growing on its own as an organization, and Sightvibes is growing on his own organization. But these both have been started as a one organization. It started with Dilip Inspires, which is like we started as a 300 ringgit. We have started for the month of, right?
Oh, wow.
Just 300 ringgit.
Uh-huh.
So now it's almost like in a year, he is able to make like 60,000 by himself and with the collaboration partners, right? So he do have collaborative culture we have built, and the people are in India, France, like all over the world. We have in US, we do have a lot of people we collaborate with, even though we don't see them, but they know what is our intention. So whenever we wanted something, we will reach out to them and then they will help us. They will grow together, actually. So that is the most important part of it, actually, when it comes to the manifestation, because that is where you are in the energy of love. So energy of love will help you to manifest things much faster, because if you notice, even the part of the art of letting go, the art of letting go was struggling for him about when he wants to letting go of his job. So how was your experience?
Yeah. So around 2021, so I joined a company called 160, right? So at that time, I was constantly working on Sightvibes as well, and also was working in 162. And everyone in 162 knows that I have a company as well. So when I first joined, I was happy, and I told him first, obviously. I told him first, and he was happy as well. Then I think it was taking like a nice toll. Like, okay, you're getting a job. Okay, let's because I never entered a job, because when I first started, I was like, oh, I don't have a degree, I don't have anything. Let's see what happens. Like, I challenged myself, let's see what happens. Get, doesn't get. If I don't get, it's okay. And I get it. Once I get it, I went in and I learned a lot. And at that time, right, I was already implementing the things that I know from that company to my company. So I learned a lot for myself, and I was pumping into my own company saying that, okay, we have to use this knowledge for our growth, right? So I leverage on the knowledge and I grow. So when these things start picks up, and I was learning a lot, right? So it was growing equally. And at one point of time, I have to choose. I can't really use my time on both things, because it's two different things. One is job, one is your thing, one is your passion. That's what you want. So I was struggling around August. I decided to quit. To pursue this full time, to give all, to push it up. I was struggling. I was like, oh, maybe there's something more to learn. Yes, there is something more to learn. Obviously, there's day by day, you're going to learn something new. And when I noticed that, I was telling him I'm going to quit. They said, okay, send your letter. After 2 weeks, I come back. I said, okay, I'm going to quit. Send a letter. I was like, okay. It's not even happening. It's not moving. I was like, because I was so hesitant, because I was getting so much knowledge over there. It was fun learning. It's a very good learning curve over there. So I didn't want to let it go at the same time. I want to grow my business. But you have to make a choice. You have to choose. So what I did was, okay, anyhow, even if I quit right now and I pursue this for 100%, it's going to grow. So when this grows, I'm going to learn. And obviously, I love working there. So when I quit and I like managed to quit, right? Like I gave my letter and then finally, and I was like, okay, done. Then I was like, I feel calm. I feel more excited actually because there's so much that I learned that I can use here. When I use it over here, there's more things I'm going to learn. So it's going to go up, up, and up, which is happening now, which is now is happening.
Yeah.
So whatever knowledge that I was thinking that I might not get if I quit the job, I'm actually getting. I'm actually getting it. So when you let go, you don't let it go in like you're gonna have some hesitant in you, but when you understand that it is okay to let go, it is fine, and you make the jump, and you know you're gonna get the knowledge from this side, right? You're confident. So, and you confidently leave, and you have no hate or anything over there. I'm not quitting there from because I hate it. It's just I want to pursue my things. I have to grow myself. So I took the thing and I grew. So I understand that part of it, right? Like, okay, I come back to my vision. Like, this is my vision. If I'm not working, who's going to work? Right? So, and you have 24 hours. And most of the time, morning until evening, I will be working there. And night all the way to mid mornings, I will be working here. So it's draining. So what if I can use this time over here and put it over here? It's going to grow. So I let it go smoothly after like 2 months of struggle of not letting go. And I managed like, okay, it is time. I have to, it is time. And I let it go and I slowly came back here and I implemented whatever has to be implemented and I grew up. And now I'm where I am is because of that. That decision I made, that letting go part is now who I am right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to that because I gone through the letting go feeling as well around there in similar phase where I had to let go of my job being a lecturer and also build this part of it being a coach, right? Which is my passion as well, which is like I wanted to really go all in and create beautiful impact. So could totally relate to that, right? And speaking about your vision and letting go to go into your passion and creating your vision, right? What was that higher vision that you have, but at the same time you had limiting beliefs and you end up seeing that you also manifested it. So
Okay.
what was that?
So the first thing that I actually thought was going to happen was when, like I said, I was feeling left behind, right? That time I was feeling left behind. And when I started seeing success and started seeing my growth, right? What I was thinking is I'm too in front. I feel like my entire gang is like behind me. I was like, oh no, and now I'm like leaving. Previously I was like too far, I'm too front. So what I was thinking was, I'm not gonna able to make friends who are my type, like doing business and stuff like that. And I was so hesitant, like thinking like, oh, it was a very uncomfortable moment I have. It was like I at that point when this thing happening, I actually was losing focus on my business as well, because when I see if I grow more, I might lose things. Right? I lose my friends and stuff. So when I come back to Dilip and talking about it, obviously he's gonna question. He questioned me and stuff like that. I think after that, I cleared myself. Okay, I still have to grow anyways. I shouldn't stop for anyone. I have to make my decision. I have to move. So when I move, and while moving, at the same thing I did, I took a bet on myself and I just go. What happened was recently I met a person, Gelado. Her name is Haley, and she is actually my age as well. And I was like, oh, okay. And from that day onwards, like I'm meeting few people that are very friendly and are in my circle as well. And surprising, now the best thing is happening is my current circle, right? Are catching up to me. They looking me as an inspiration. When they say that, I was like, okay, I make this type of impact, which I actually want to also. But when you hear it, right, it's like, oh, it's happening actually. So I feel grateful that my friends actually like see me as an inspiration, right? It's like, oh, I'm making the impact that I wanted. When you first hearing it and seeing it, it's feel different. It just feels different. So, and my friends are actually like, okay, they are coming towards me, and I'm so happy. I want them to come. I want them to come, right? And they are actually coming. I'm not holding them and I say, come here. No, they're like, come. Yeah, I'm coming. they're willingly doing it, right? I don't force anyone, and cyber is purely built based on that. No force, no nothing. It's intention set, and everybody is aligned with the intention, and they want to grow as well. So when everyone's intention are aligned, right, that's where you make times 10 impact, right?
Wow.
Which leads back to the question you asked in the beginning, right? What is this younger generation or facing the block? So these days, the younger generation are living within this what do you call it? Within this circle of the room. Actually, they within the room they are living because they are only connecting in the online and they are only connecting in the phone. They are only imagining the world exists this way, but manifestation doesn't work that way. I mean, there's this concept I learned from a marketing guru who's Steve Blank, who told that get out to the market, right? Which is like you cannot be sitting in front of the computer only and then using your phone only. You can find the market. So you needed to reach out to the customer as an entrepreneur because we always have a fear that my business is going to fail without even we explore the market. So that's the block. That's the block these days the kids has these days because they don't know what is the world exists and they only seeing through social media and then they're only seeing through whatever the people saying around them, which is more fearful than understanding there is a market and there is a leaders exist out there in the world. Could be your age group itself or it could be in different age group, but then they are willingly to connect with you, willingly to collaborate with you, willingly to manifest together with you. So we always think that they are somewhere near in the moon, right? So it's not actually. It's my lesson as well. So where I always think that they are somewhere in the moon, but it is not actually. They are there. If you reach out to them, they will be willingly to help you because they always wanted to see that kind of growth in their younger version, right? So that's what the impact we have made for each other.
Beautiful. Very beautifully said. So before we conclude, I would like to ask you, being such an inspiration for most of them, like being a successful person in Malaysia, listed as a successful person at this very young age, such an inspiration because I really felt like there is so much I can learn from you. And whatever lessons that he said that he learned from you, it's like, it's a honor to be speaking, right? What would you deliver to the people out there? What is the message that you wanted to share?
Okay, so this is an important thing that I would like to say, right? Trust yourself, trust the process. Don't overthink anything. Like obviously, there's gonna problems and obstacles gonna come. You got you. You know yourself. You know your worth. You know you can do it, right? So go out there, explore. Don't try to be in your comfort zone. That's where kills so much dream. Comfort zone kills a lot of people's dream. You have to have your comfort zone. It's okay to have it, but you have to get out of it. You have to go out of it and explore the world. Create new comfort zone. When you create a new comfort zone, you get out of there and you create a new comfort zone. So day by day, challenge yourself, get out of your comfort zone and bet on yourself and take the leap of faith. Yep, take a leap of faith. Bet on yourself. You got you. Just do it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. And what is the message that you would like to share about this journey and what are the things you want to tell to people?
Whenever we spoke about like college dropout or we speak about the education system is failing, it is not that we are against education system. So what we are coming from a place of like knowledge supposed to serve your vision and you shouldn't be serving for the knowledge.
Wow.
So that's the message we wanted to give to the world, that your manifestation journey is all about your knowledge should be aligning with your vision and it should be together with traveling with your vision, and every day you will be growing in knowledge, every day you will be growing in your wisdom. But if you always try to serve the knowledge, that is when your dreams get killed. So try to listen to your vision and let your knowledge align with your vision. That's going to manifest the dream life you're seeking.
Wonderful. Very beautifully said. And Subaru, please share with us about your company and how, if anybody watching here, they wanted to collaborate with you, they needed your services, please share about your profile a little bit.
Right. So my company name is Sightvibes. What we do is we do branding, we do digital solution, and as well we do digital marketing as well. So if you guys want to reach out, just drop a message in Sightvibes Instagram, or you can drop an email at subaru@sightvibes.com, or you can just hit me up 017-481-8402.
Wow. Thank you so much for
We-
sharing.
Before we end it, we would like to give gratitude to our friends who are always there with us. Ananda, Prakash.
Jerry, Nazi.
Mhm.
Yeah. So these are the people who are actually there from day one and doing amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
from the time, I mean, like obviously we went through a lot of cycle of, as you asked the question, the challenges what we go through when you collaborate. We are in a kind of like a, in pandemic we used to have like phase 1, phase 2. So I think we are now in phase 3, I guess. Right. So yeah. So it happens. The phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 happens. But we are grateful to all those who are in the phase 1, phase 2, and also now in phase 3, and also who are there with us for on this whole journey. And we really love to give a gratitude to you, every one of you.
Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much. And if you are watching this and looking to manifest your dream life, career, love life, please do reach out to us at Dilip Inspires Instagram or TikTok, or in Mangla Inspires Instagram or TikTok. See you again. Take care and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we did our first episode, guys. There was like a little bit of starting trouble in me, and then after that, okay, it was cool with both of you, like helped in elevating the energy. Thank you so much. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, Dilip?
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling awesome. We are able to share whatever we wanted to say to the world. We were always speaking inside the room.
In the whiteboard session.
Whiteboard session.
Without any cameras, lights, even proper dressing.
Yes, I remember how you used to stand. Oh my god, feeling so.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure,
please,
yeah.
yes, please.